I could keep parading scientists, and I will, across this show. But let's not forget, the simple truth is this has a death rate of 0.26%. But by the way, that was of the entire population if we looked at it. Now we're thinking, could it just be 0.26% of only 20% of us? I actually ran that number on my phone as I was sitting there. I don't know if you can see that, but that is your chance as an American, given that 80% of you may already be immune. If you're wearing a mask, if you're terrified right now, if you don't want to come out of the house, if you're scowling at Del Bigtree, who's in your store not wearing a mask right now, just know that you are apparently terrified of a 0.0005. It turned out, there it is. That is the risk right now. That is your death rate right now in America, given the popular science. Maybe 3 weeks from now, this may be adjusted a little bit. And what is that group? What is the group that are really at risk? Let's be honest about this. I'm going to say something that might get me in some trouble here, but let's be honest. That group is very well known. People over the age of 65, not just because you're over the age of 65, but you're sick with other diseases. You have heart disease, you have COPD, you have diabetes, you have issues. Many of those issues coming from the fact that you didn't treat your body very well while you were alive on this planet. And I want to talk about this for 1 second as I close this down. That 0.26% are the most sick among us. And I have nothing against you. Go ahead and bubble wrap your house, please. Lock yourself in your basement. Go and do what's necessary. But here's the problem. When you were my age, you were most likely eating food and fast food and Doritos and drinking Coca-Cola, which you will never find in my home. You were eating that all the time. You probably were drinking a lot of different alcoholic beverages and really liked to party and probably really enjoyed your cigarettes. And you said to yourself, you know what? It's more about the quality of my life right now. I don't care if I live to be 100 years old. I want to enjoy my life right now. I like the finer things in life. I like good, rich food. I like smoking a cigarette once in a while. I like to drink my drinks. And you know what? Good on you. That's the United States of America. I have no problem with that. Some of my best friends think like that. It's great, and they're fun to hang out with. That is perfectly okay. But here's what's not okay. When you reach that point in your life where now your arteries are starting to clog up, your body is shutting down, and the alcohol is eating up your liver, and you have diabetes, or you have multiple COPD, you have asthma, you can't breathe, all the cigarette smoking's finally caught up with you, you have heart disease, because of the way you decide to live your life in the moment, here's what you are now. You are pharmaceutical dependent. You did that to yourself, not me. You decided that the moment mattered, and now you find yourself pharmaceutical dependent, which is really what that 0.26% is. And that's okay, too. Thank God there's drugs out there. There's drugs that allow you to eat that Philly cheesesteak, even though your body knows it hates it. But go ahead, take the Prilosec. What difference does it make? Drug yourself. Get through the day. Don't exercise. Maybe just attach a little electrode and see if electrocuting your stomach will give you the abs you want. Come on. Grow up. You made your choices. And now that you're pharmaceutically dependent, here's what you don't get to do. You don't get to say, I have to take a drug to protect you. That's what this is. You don't get to say, I have to wear a mask and suck in my own CO2 to protect you. You don't get to say, I have to lock myself in my basement and destroy my career and take away my own ability to feed my children because you are pharmaceutical dependent. You lived your life. You made your choice. And thank God we live in the United States of America so you don't have to worry about grocery police standing outside of a grocery store saying, really? You really need 4 liters of Coca-Cola? You really need 4 bags of Doritos or Cheetos or Fritos or whatever the heck it is, or little cupcakes with synthetic icing on it? You really need all that? Because we could go there, right? If we're really going to get in each other's shiznit, that's what we could do. Or can we live and let live? Eat all the Twinkies you want, drink all the bourbon you want, and smoke as many cigarettes as you want. And when you find yourself pharmaceutical dependent, I will go ahead and say, thank God the drug companies are there for you. But you do not get to make me pharmaceutical dependent. You do not get to put me in the way of Heidi Larson, who wants to eradicate natural health and natural herd immunity and make us all pharmaceutical dependent. No, she only gets to rule your life because you lived in a way that you are going to need drugs to survive. And by the way, if you're wearing a mask right now, if you're locked in your basement, if you're at a grocery store and you're scowling at me and you aren't pharmaceutical dependent and you are living a decent life, you may want to think about taking that mask off. You may want to think about coming out in the sunshine and getting some vitamin D. Because you know what? I do care about my pharmaceutical dependent friends. And the only thing I can do for them, beyond wishing for a vaccine unicorn, is to actually catch what is just a common cold. Oh my God, I got you, right? You're going nuts right now. You're saying, wait, he said common cold? I thought people would compare this to the flu. No, let me be perfectly clear. This is not even a flu for 99.74% of us. You won't probably even have a fever or a cough because as it's described, this is one of the most mild illnesses there is. So mild, you are probably what is called an asymptomatic carrier. You don't even know you have it. That's how mild this is. It's a common cold for 99.74% of us, the non-pharmaceutical dependent people. So here's what we do. Let's go outside. Let's take off our mask. If we're not on drugs, and we don't need to be on drugs, let's catch this cold. Whether or not it's just the 20% of us, or maybe we're not even in that category, let's give it a college try to catch this cold so that we can protect the pharmaceutical dependent amongst us. That though they lived our lives, we still love them. And they need us to establish herd immunity quick before we destroy the world we live in and can't do anything for anybody. So join me. Let's save the world, shall we? I'm up for a cold. Grab your vitamin C, your vitamin D, your magnesium, your zinc. Let's do this. If you like that clip, then be sure to check out our live broadcast of the HighWire every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. You can watch it on Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, and Twitter. We'll see you there.